Good morning. Any visitors this morning? No? Wow. So you all belong here. Well, we welcome all of you here this morning. Just a note, you might have thought that perhaps we haven't been paying the electric bill, but we have. And the reason the lights have been dimmed is during the season of Advent, the movement of the liturgy takes us from the internal darkness of our own lives to the light of Christ coming into the world. And so we try to, during the season of Advent, to show in other ways this movement that we're supposed to be taking, this pilgrimage we're supposed to be on during these 4 weeks of Advent. That this is supposed to be a time of calm. It's supposed to be a time of good order. It's supposed to be a time when we look at our own hearts and lives, a time where we prioritize, and a time where we prepare for the coming of Christ into our lives, both historically and individually, spiritually in our own lives. Now, historically, we know that Christ came, not just by faith, but by history itself. But spiritually, why did he come? And did his coming into the world have an effect, and does it have an effect in your life and in mine? And that's the challenge of Advent. To move away the false gods from our lives, to take out all that distracts us, and in the midst of all that, to find space to make God and Jesus the center of my life. Now, how does that happen? Well, the one thing it does not happen, cannot allow it to happen, is noise and confusion and disorderliness. We will never find Christ in the midst of the chaos. We only find Christ when we seek him in the silence of our hearts. And that's the challenge for us today, to look at our lives right now, to look at who we are right now, and to feel where we are, and to see what's dragging us in the wrong direction, to see what's taking us where we shouldn't be going, and to read the signs. Jesus was a great one for telling people, look at the signs. Look at the signs in your life. Is there frustration? Is there impatience? Is there anger? Is there lateness? I'll say that one again. Is there lateness? All of that is a sign that we're not focused. All of that is a sign that there are false gods that are dominating us and we don't even recognize it. All of that is a sign that somehow we're not getting it. That Jesus is coming to the world. That God is speaking the great word, which is Jesus, and that great word is his love for us. That earth will be united to heaven once again. That the Creator and the created will be joined in a bond that cannot be broken. But the question is, are we going to choose that? Are we going to choose that bond? Are we going to move from the darkness of our own interior lives to the light of God's love? Or are we going to be perfectly content to stay in our frustration, in our impatience, in our anger, never having enough time, always being late, always being unprepared, always being confused and confounded? Only we can make that choice. To slow down and to calm down and to get peace at our center and to do what we must do to keep God at our core. And we need to be reminded, because we're not hearing it. There are people who aren't even here right now except their bodies. Their minds are somewhere else. I have to be somewhere else. I have to do something else. I have to get this over. And I wished he'd hurry up. I got to get this over. Because really, I have more important things to do than to be alone with God. Advent. Ask yourself, what was the morning like? Good morning, dear. How may I help you this morning? Good morning, children. It's nice that your rooms are all neat and clean. Good morning, Mother. I already took out the garbage and did the dishes and vacuumed. No? Why not? More importantly, good morning, God. Good morning, God. The very first words out of my mouth. I've come to do your will. Where are our priorities? Do we know what they are? Because if we don't know what they are and don't work toward them, then the priorities of the world will take that space. And we will get up in the morning and we'll check our Palm Pilot or our blackberry, blueberry, raspberry. And let that tell us what our priorities are. Is that what's happening? Are we letting something else tell us what our priorities are? And if we are, we're still in darkness. So, as you and I pray today, as you and I gather here in this calmness, do you think you can bring your heads here? Do you think you can bring your minds here? Do you think you can bring your hearts here for these brief moments? So that you don't run the risk of worshiping